No one respects you. And here's the bitter truth you've avoided your whole life. You haven't earned it. You think people owe you respect just for existing? Just for waking up in the morning and going through the motions like a zombie? Respect isn't given. It's taken. It's demanded by how you show up in this world. But let's be honest. Right now, you're invisible. You're the guy nobody listens to. The one who gets talked over, walked past, and laughed at when he's not in the room. That's the reality, and it hurts. But pain is the first sign of life. You've been soft, conditioned to believe that playing it safe, staying quiet, and avoiding conflict would earn you peace. But all it earned you is irrelevance. Men who are respected don't hide from responsibility. They embrace it. They don't run from pain. They walk straight into it and come out stronger. You, on the other hand, you've been hiding behind distractions. Scrolling through your phone, numbing your mind, waiting for some miracle to fix your life. It's not coming. No one's coming. The world doesn't care about your potential until you become undeniable. Look around you. Real respect goes to the men who build themselves. The ones who walk with purpose, speak with conviction, and don't need anyone's permission to take up space. And you know what makes them different? They've suffered. They've failed. They've been broken and rebuilt themselves with blood, sweat, and unshakable self-respect. That's what masculinity is. Not muscles and macho talk. Discipline, grit, power under control. That's what demands attention. That's what earns respect. And you can have that too, if you're willing to kill the weak version of yourself that's been running the show for too long. It starts with a decision, a brutal, honest confrontation with the man in the mirror. Stop blaming society, your parents, your ex, your boss, or your childhood. They don't control your future. You do. The moment you take ownership is the moment your life starts to change. But as long as you stay in that victim mindset, you'll stay at the bottom, resentful, forgotten, powerless. I'm not here to coddle you. I'm here to give you the slap you've been needing, the wake-up call you've avoided. Because deep down, you know you were meant for more. You don't need more time. You need more action. You don't need more motivation. You need discipline. You don't need more people to like you. You need to become the kind of man who doesn't care whether they do or not. When you stop chasing validation and start demanding respect through your actions, everything shifts. People notice. Women notice. The world notices. You're either the guy who walks into a room and gets ignored, or the guy who enters and commands presence without saying a word. Which one are you? If you're tired of feeling weak, overlooked, and disrespected, then you're in the right place. This channel is your battleground for transformation. No fluff, just the raw truth and the tools to forge yourself into a man worth respecting. Welcome to Primal Will, where we train the mind, sharpen the body, and rebuild the man from the inside out. If you're ready to stop living like a ghost and start living like a warrior, like the video, share it with a brother who needs this, and hit subscribe. Let's get to work. Respect is not given, it's earned. Through pain, through sacrifice, through relentless, unforgiving discipline. You don't stumble into respect by accident. It's forged in the dark when no one's watching. When you're grinding while everyone else is sleeping. When you choose to stay focused while your friends are out wasting time. That's when respect starts to build. And let me be clear, we're not talking about cheap respect, the kind that comes from pretending to be someone you're not. We're talking about the kind that makes people pause when you walk into a room. The kind that makes your presence felt without you saying a word. You can't fake that. You have to earn it with every ounce of who you are. But here's the problem. Most men today are chasing the wrong currency. They crave validation like it's oxygen. They need likes, compliments, and approval from people who don't even matter. They post to feel seen. They speak to be accepted. They act like chameleons, changing themselves to fit in, never realizing that blending in is the death of all power. That mindset is poison. It makes you a slave to perception. A man who constantly seeks to be liked will never be respected. Because respect comes from standing firm in who you are, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you stood up for what you believed in, even if it meant standing alone? When was the last time you told the truth without dressing it up to sound polite? When was the last time you said no because your principles mattered more than keeping the peace? If you can't remember, that's the problem. A man without a spine isn't a man. He's a puppet. And puppets don't get respect. They get used. This video isn't here to make you feel better. If that's what you're after, go find some motivational fluff or a feel-good podcast. This is for the men who are tired of feeling powerless, tired of being ignored, tired of waking up every day feeling like something's missing. Because something is missing, and it's not more advice, it's action. You need fire, direction, a mission. That's what separates boys from men. Boys react to life. Men create their life. I'm not here to sell you a fantasy. I'm not going to pretend that everything will magically fall into place if you just believe in yourself. That's the lie weak men tell themselves to avoid doing the real work. What I will give you is the truth, raw, real, and ruthless. The truth that society won't tell you because it's too busy trying to neuter masculinity. They want you soft, confused, and dependent. Because a man who doesn't know his worth is easy to control. But a man who knows himself, who owns his purpose, protects his vision, and moves with strength, that man is dangerous. That man can't be manipulated. You are capable of becoming that man, but only if you're willing to kill the version of yourself that's been holding you back. The lazy version, the cowardly version, the version that's afraid to speak up, afraid to take risks, afraid to be alone. That version must die if you want to rise. This video is your funeral for the weak self and the birth of the real you. But only if you choose to engage. Not just listen, engage. That means taking notes. That means applying what I'm about to share. That means taking action before the sun sets today. This isn't about achieving perfection. It's about becoming undeniable. A man who shows up, shows strength, and doesn't flinch when life punches back. A man with vision, with fire in his gut, and steel in his soul. That's the man the world respects. That's the man your future self is waiting for. You don't need to be extraordinary to start. You need to start to become extraordinary. So listen carefully. Every word in this video is a tool. Every truth I speak is a weapon. This isn't just content. It's a blueprint for reclaiming your power as a man. If you're ready to stop being a bystander in your own life, if you're ready to stop begging for crumbs of attention and start building a legacy of respect, then you're exactly where you need to be. Let's dive deeper. It's time to wake the warrior within. Here's the first hard truth. You tolerate weakness in yourself. And that's why no one respects you. Not even you. You hit the snooze button 10 times because your bed feels too warm. You make promises to yourself. I'll start tomorrow. I'll hit the gym this week. I'll quit that bad habit. And you break them like they're meaningless. That weak voice in your head, you let it win. You let comfort dictate your life. And then you wonder why nothing changes. Weakness is not just about physical strength. It's about choices. You're choosing to lose every single day, and you don't even realize it. You lie to yourself constantly. You tell yourself you're trying, that you're doing your best. No, you're not. You're doing what's easy. There's a difference. You lie to avoid guilt. You lie to avoid facing the mirror. You'd rather feel safe than feel discomfort. But here's the truth. Nothing grows in safety. Nothing sharpens in comfort. Steel only becomes stronger under fire. And you've been hiding from the flames your whole life. You let comfort control you. You chase warmth, not discipline. You chase sleep, not structure. You binge Netflix because it's easier than building something. You scroll social media because it numbs your mind. You eat trash because cooking takes effort. You become a slave to the path of least resistance. And that's why you're stuck. If you keep choosing what's easy, your life will stay hard. But if you start choosing what's hard, your life will become easier because you'll finally be in control. Second truth, you have no mission. You wake up and drift. No purpose, no plan, no direction. You live on autopilot, letting the world push you wherever it wants. That's not life, that's survival. You let your emotions decide your day. If you don't feel like it, you don't do it. You're emotionally fragile, and that fragility makes you unreliable. No one can trust you, not your friends, not your family, not even yourself, because your moods control your movement. Men without a mission are dangerous to themselves. You see, a man who doesn't know why he's alive will eventually find something to numb the pain of not knowing. That's where addiction starts. That's where depression breeds. You were designed to conquer, to build, to fight for something bigger than yourself. But you've traded that calling for comfort and chaos. It's time to reclaim your purpose or die slowly from the lack of one. Here's the third truth. You're addicted to pleasure. Your dopamine is fried. You wake up and grab your phone like it's your oxygen tank. You can't go 10 minutes without checking likes, swiping, scrolling, or consuming garbage. Your attention span is weaker than ever. You've trained your brain to crave instant gratification, and now anything that takes effort feels impossible. You become a prisoner of the easy hit. Porn, social media, fast food, video games, they own you. You don't enjoy them anymore. You need them just to feel okay. Porn is destroying your drive. Every time you click that tab, you drain yourself of masculine energy. That urge you should be using to build, to hunt, to chase your goals. It gets wasted behind a screen. Social media is stealing your time. You're not learning. You're not growing. You're just watching other people live while you sit and rot. And junk food, it's killing your body. You fuel yourself like trash, and then you wonder why you have no energy, no focus, and no motivation. You're not tired, you're poisoned. Truth number 4, you're invisible. You don't stand out. You don't make an impact. You walk through life like a ghost, seen but never felt. You don't speak with strength. Your voice has no weight. Why? Because you don't believe in what you say. You don't own anything. No opinions, no values, no standards. You nod your head to fit in. You stay quiet to avoid conflict. That's not peace. That's cowardice. You don't move with purpose. You walk like you're lost. You sit like you're small. You dress like you don't care. Your body language screams, "Don't notice me." And guess what? No one does. The world doesn't respect people who don't demand respect. That doesn't mean yelling or being aggressive. It means owning your space, walking into a room and radiating certainty. But that only comes from doing hard things and earning self-respect. The world ignores men who play small. No one rewards potential. People reward results. You might think you're capable of more, but until you prove it through action, it's just noise. Harsh truth. Potential doesn't matter if you're too soft to unlock it. You're not waiting for the right time. You're just afraid. And that fear is robbing you of the life you're meant to live. Truth 5. You talk more than you act. You tell people you're going to change. You post quotes. You buy books. You talk about your plans, your goals, your dreams, but they're just words. You've confused talking about change with becoming the change. And that's why nothing's different. Boys talk. Men act. The man who builds silently will always dominate the one who screams loudly and delivers nothing. There's a quote by Nietzsche. He who cannot command himself must obey. Read that again. If you can't command your own actions, your thoughts, your habits, you're not free. You're a slave to your emotions, to your weakness, to society's expectations, to the algorithm. And you think you're a man? No, you're obedient to everything but yourself. That has to stop. It's not that you lack potential. You just lack discipline. And discipline is the only bridge between who you are now and the man you want to become. You can either control your impulses or be controlled by them. There is no middle ground. You either rise and conquer or you fall and decay. You're losing time. That's the most brutal truth of all. Every day you delay action is a day you hand over to mediocrity. Your future self is screaming at you to wake up, to step into the fire, to take risks, to bleed. Because that's where transformation begins. But instead, you numb that voice with distraction, and slowly it dies. Until one day you wake up, 40 years old, wondering where your life went. There is no rescue team coming. No mentor is going to save you. No woman will fix you. No opportunity will magically appear. You are the solution. You are the problem. You are the weapon. You are the weakness. And every decision you make either feeds the warrior or the coward. You got to stop running. Stop avoiding the discomfort. Start owning your life like your future depends on it, because it does. This section isn't meant to shame you. It's meant to wake you the hell up. Because if you don't get brutally honest with yourself right now, you're going to stay stuck in a cycle of regret, weakness, and insignificance. If these truths hurt, good. That pain means you're still alive. It means there's still time. Now we shift gears. Now, I'm going to hand you the tools you need to change it all. But you must earn them. Let's get into the steps. Now that we've stripped away the lies, the excuses, and the comfort, you're ready for action. Not motivational fluff. Not Instagram quotes. Real, hard steps that forge real men. Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you earn through fire-tested habits. If you want to be seen as a man worth listening to, a man worth following, you need to start living like one. These next 5 steps will push you there. No shortcuts, just results. Step 1. Master your mind. Everything begins in the mind. Before your body can move, before your goals can take shape, your mind must become a weapon. And right now, your mind is soft. You react to everything. Anger, lust, laziness, distraction. You're not in control. You're a slave to whatever emotion strikes hardest. That ends now. You have to stop reacting emotionally. Start responding intentionally. That means learning control. Real control. Start with journaling. Write down your thoughts every morning. It will expose your fears and sharpen your focus. Add breath work. When life gets chaotic, you breathe through the fire. 10 deep breaths can stop you from making 10 dumb decisions. And yes, meditate. Not for peace, but for power. To sharpen awareness. To gain command over your impulses. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you master your inner world, the outer world becomes a playground. No insult, no setback, no failure can shake you. You become immovable, and that's the kind of man people respect, because he's dangerous, but in control. Step 2. Build a warrior body. You want to earn respect? Start by looking like someone who respects himself. Your body is the first signal you send to the world. And right now, you might be broadcasting weakness. Fat, sloppy, tired. That's not power. That's surrender. You can't fake strength. You build it. You don't need a gym membership or fancy supplements. What you need is consistency. Wake up and do push-ups. Run. Lift something heavy. Sweat every damn day. Turn your training into a ritual. Every rep is a statement. I refuse to be weak. Over time, your body will change, and so will your mindset. Muhammad Ali didn't just train to look good. He trained in the dark when no one was watching, because he knew champions are built in silence. Be that man, the one who trains alone, who suffers in private, because when the lights turn on, everyone will see what you built in the shadows. Strength commands respect. Weakness invites disrespect. You decide how the world treats you. Step 3. Stack real skills and make money. Let's get something straight. Money is not evil. Dependency is. If you rely on your parents, your partner, your boss, you're not a man. You're a liability. Financial power is not about luxury. It's about freedom. The freedom to walk away, to build, to protect. And you get there by becoming valuable. Start learning real skills. Freelance. Code. Sell. Write. Edit videos. Build websites. Flip products. There are 1,000 ways to make money today. And the only excuse left is laziness. Stack your skills like armor. Diversify your income. Become so good at what you do that people need you. That's how you gain leverage in life. Robert Greene said in the 48 Laws of Power, never outshine the master, but always master yourself. Stop trying to impress others. Focus on mastering your craft, your work ethic, your mindset. When you do that, money follows. And when money follows, respect follows. Because nothing says power like a man who doesn't need a handout. Step 4. Cut out the noise. Your mind is under siege by apps, trends, gossip, distraction. And every second you give it is a second stolen from your future. You want clarity? You want purpose? Then cut the damn noise. Delete TikTok. Log out of pointless debates. Turn off the garbage music. Reclaim your attention. Most men today are overstimulated and underdeveloped. They know everything about celebrities and nothing about themselves. That's not intelligence. That's ignorance. Start filtering what you consume like your life depends on it, because it does. What you feed your mind becomes your reality. Trends will come and go. The algorithm will change. but your legacy is eternal. Focus on building something that outlives you. That means turning your back on the shallow and going deep, deep into your craft, your mission, your growth. You can't hear your calling if you're drowned in noise. Silence the world. Hear yourself, then build in that silence. Step 5. Set a code. Most men drift because they have no code, no standard, no internal compass. They wake up and make decisions based on how they feel, not based on who they are. That's weakness. A real man has principles, non negociables, a code that guides every action, no matter the storm. What's your code? Maybe it's, I don't lie. I train daily. I protect those I love. I build every day. I never quit. Whatever it is, write it down. Memorize it. Tattoo it on your soul. And follow it like religion. When you follow your code, you don't need motivation. You move with purpose. Denzel Washington said it plainly. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. That's the difference between boys and men. Boys wait until they feel like it. Men move regardless. And over time, that movement turns into momentum. That momentum becomes respect. Respect from others, and more importantly, from yourself. You want to change your life? Start here. Master your mind. Build your body. Stack your skills. Eliminate the noise. Lie by code. These aren't just steps. They're weapons. Use them. Sharpen them. Carry them with you every day. And watch how the world changes when you change. Because the truth is, no one will respect you until you respect yourself first. These steps are the foundation, the fire, the rebirth. You're not just building a better life. You're forging a new identity. One rooted in strength, clarity, discipline, and direction. So don't wait. Don't overthink. Pick one step and act. Today, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Every small step forward is a slap in the face to your old self. Keep going. No one's coming to save you, but no one can stop you either. Not if you commit. Not if you fight. Now, we move to the final message. Stay locked in, because it's time for the transformation to begin. Masculinity isn't just about muscles or dominance. It's about mastery of yourself, your mind, your environment. And mastery doesn't come from hype or motivation. It comes from discipline, from daily, brutal commitment to the habits and mindsets that make a man dangerous, composed, and respected. You can lift weights all day, but if your mind is fragile and your emotions are wild, you're still weak. So let's sharpen the blade from the inside out. Emotional control is the first weapon in your arsenal. Every man will face anger, fear, sadness, and pain, but not every man will respond the same. The weak man explodes, panics, or hides. The strong man pauses. He breathes, calculates, and responds with force, not flailing. You don't punch walls. You don't scream into the void. You direct your energy. That's what makes you dangerous. Controlled fire burns brighter than scattered flames. Then comes the power of silence. The world is loud. Everyone wants to be heard, to scream their opinions, to argue for the sake of ego. But real men move in silence. They observe, absorb, and strike with precision. You don't need to talk to prove yourself. You let your actions speak. You listen more than you speak, because wisdom lives in the silence. You enter a room without announcing yourself, and people feel your presence anyway. That's power. Delayed gratification is what separates boys from men. Boys want it now. The comfort, the sex, the dopamine. Men wait. They suffer in the short term to dominate in the long term. You say no to the party so you can say yes to progress. You skip the junk food so you can fuel your performance. You resist the urge to spend so you can build wealth. Every time you delay pleasure, you build strength. The man who can delay gratification is the man who eventually has it all. Responsibility is your sacred duty. You stop pointing fingers. You don't blame your parents, your boss, your past, or your luck. You own it. Every result in your life, good or bad, is yours. You take the L's with the same honor you take the W's. Because a man who owns everything fears nothing. And when you take full ownership, you take full power. No more excuses. No more victimhood. Just results. That's how you earn self-respect. And with it, the respect of others. Next, you build self-reliance. You become a man who doesn't need anyone, but who others can depend on. You develop the ability to survive alone, not because you want to isolate yourself, but because you understand that no one owes you anything. You learn to fix things, to handle your money, to protect yourself and those around you. You stop crying for help and start becoming the help. When you can stand on your own 2 feet, you'll find others naturally want to stand with you. Lastly, you choose direction over distraction. Every day, the world is throwing noise at you. Scroll this, click that, watch this. But you stay locked in on your purpose. You ask yourself, does this serve my mission? If the answer is no, you cut it. Simple. Because pleasure fades. Legacy lasts. Men who chase pleasure become addicts. Men who pursue purpose become legends. Every minute of focus compounds into greatness. Every distraction you resist is a step closer to who you were born to be. These habits and mindsets are not optional. They're the foundation of masculinity. They create a force of nature. A man who can't be shaken. A man who commands attention without asking for it. Cultivate them ruthlessly. Practice them daily. And watch how your life transforms. Not with noise, but with silent, undeniable power. Now, if you're ready to make this your reality, lock in. Don't just listen. Live it. Because we're not here to feel good. We're here to be great. And that starts the moment you decide to embody these principles like your life depends on it, because it does. The reason no one respects you isn't some mystery. It's not society's fault. It's not your upbringing. It's not your environment. It's you. You haven't respected yourself. You've been waiting for someone to validate you, to approve of you, to hand you respect like it's a gift. But respect isn't given in the real world. It's earned in sweat, in silence, in solitude. It's built through countless hours of unseen work, through the battles you fight when no one is watching. And that journey, it starts now. You need to become a man who demands respect without ever asking for it. And that only happens when you become the type of man who respects himself. The man who wakes up before the sun, who makes his bed, hits the gym, handles his business. The man who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't run from failure, who doesn't hide behind excuses. A man of standards, of principle, of power. That man earns respect, not because he seeks it, but because he embodies it. Start with your mind. Cut the mental chaos. Build discipline like a fortress. Control your thoughts, and you control your life. Then move to your body. You don't have to be a bodybuilder, but you better look like you give a damn. Lift, run, sweat, because strength is silent proof that you respect yourself. After that, handle your money. Learn skills. Offer value. Stop being a consumer and start becoming a producer. Power follows those who create. Then refine your voice. Speak with confidence. Not arrogance, certainty. Be the man in the room whose words carry weight because they come from discipline and action, not noise and desperation. Walk with purpose. When you move, the room should feel it. When you speak, people should listen. Not because you force them to, but because you've earned it. Because you are it. Every day from here on out is a battle, a test. And every small win is a brick laid in the foundation of the man you're building. So stack those wins. One workout, one decision, one early morning, one uncomfortable truth faced head on. That's how you change your story. That's how you rebuild yourself from the ground up. With fire, with focus, with relentless, masculine energy. You weren't meant to blend in with the crowd. You weren't built for mediocrity. You were meant to lead, to build, to dominate. So stop shrinking, stop apologizing, and start rising. If you've made it this far, then deep down, you know it's time. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Because the man you're supposed to become is already inside you. He's just waiting for you to stop making excuses and start becoming him. So do it. Start. Right now. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're ready to take control of your life like a man. Share this with someone else who's stuck in the dark, because it's time for all of us to rise. Not with words, but with action. And remember the words of the great Muhammad Ali. I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Welcome to the war. Let's build.